Welcome back to Shawnee Hills Woodworking. Today I want to show you how I built this custom door using cheap materials and limited tools. Now I've made a standard craftsman door because that's what I needed in my house, but with this design, you're basically limited by your imagination, and that's it.
I started off by using a track from my circular saw to cut the bottoms off the doors. I grouped a couple doors together at a time just to make it a little quicker. And then I filled in the void at the bottom of the door with a piece of hardwood and used some cawls and clamped it together. I then laid out the panels on the door in a proportional manner using my sliding rule. The whole reason for having to build these doors is because with a standard door, if you get it cut down from the factory, they just cut the bottom off and you just leave a small rail at the top and bottom. This way my doors will be proportional. Then I just used my track again and was very careful to cut all my lines. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous while doing this. This is one of those situations where one mistake and it's ruined. Now you can start to see the layout of the door. I used a utility knife to finish up the corners on the front side, and then I flipped the door over and used a bare saw just to finish the last few inches of the cuts. And then the panels just fell out. With the table saw, I ripped several strips at 1 1/8 inch thick from some 2x material I had laying around. Now this is a hardwood, but you could use a softwood. This just happened to be what I had. The important thing is that it is very straight and completely dried out. Then I just pushed back a little bit of the honeycomb material in the doors to make room for these pieces of wood that I just cut to fill in. And then I used my chisel to clean up a little bit and started gluing the pieces of wood in. After I got the piece flush, I added cawls on either side and clamped it up, and then did the same process all around the door. Today's one of those days when it was really good to have a lot of clamps. On the front side of the door, I used a 15-degree chamfer bit just to ease the edges around the panels. And then I switched out to a 1/2 inch rabbeting bit, and on the back side made a rabbet for the panels to go in. Now I started out with a climb cut, which can be a little dangerous, but it makes for a cleaner cut and less tear out, and then finished up with a standard cut. After I cut the MDF panels and put them in, I used a good sharp chisel just to clean up the corners, and then added some 1/2 inch stopping material to hold the panels in and planed them down flush with the door. And all that was left was a little bit of sanding to drill the hole for the lock set, and it's time for a test fit before prepping for paint. And here's the door hung for a test fit before getting ready to paint it. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and tune in for more videos.